Hello. I I'm Shanna Pizer. If you're watching this, I imagine that you know that, but I guess I should always say it. I I have been thinking periodically throughout the past couple days, especially as Christmas is getting closer. I want to, I know there's stuff that I want to get done. I I want to not go through this last 3 weeks of December on autopilot, especially, well, not even especially, but in regards to my eating, what I consume, when I consume it, how much I consume, and also um, just how I get things done, my expectations of other people around me, all of that, and everything that I teach and coach on really, um, at its core is all about being intentional and living on purpose, live on purpose, be intentional. When we think through things ahead of time, it helps us so much in um, in doing the things better than we would if we hadn't thought them through, if that makes sense. So my plan right now is to plan. And literally, I was like, I want to sit down and just kind of wrap my mind around the next 3 weeks ish, especially because we have our kids coming to visit. And a lot of families going to be together for the first time over Christmas. It hasn't happened for a long time. And so I kind of want to just think through that's all of the stuff. So I was thinking about it this morning and I'm like, hey, how about if number one, to keep myself accountable and to make sure that I do this, what if I do it on a Zoom? And if other people want to join me, great. If not, I can record it and post it in case anybody's looking for help planning out their own holiday extravaganza season, whatever. So here we are. And if you're here, if you're watching the replay, I really pray that this helps you and in whatever way. So all that I'm doing, I have not planned any presentation or anything. I'm literally going to walk through my own planning. And all that I am doing is I turned back to the notes section of my planner. So I'm at the very end of my planner. And I am going to write out the like the days of the rest of the year. Today is Sunday the 8th. And then what I want to do is write the day and then leave a little space for each day from now until the end of the year. This pen is about to die. Um, Also, I brought in, actually, let's do that. I brought in all of my planning supplies. If you know me at all, if you have worked with me at all, you know that I love planning. I love my morning time when I plan my days, and I love planners and I love pens. So I have this is with me like almost all the time, and it is my little bag of purple pens. And there's a lot of purple pens. And I love my pens and I love using my pens while I'm planning in the mornings. And I have favorite pens that I use sparingly because I don't want to run out of the ink. And I have favorite functional pens that I use more often. Another thing that I have, so those are my pens. I use, it's just a composition notebook, and I decorated it with some washi tape. And my word for the year for this year was impact. And my impact statement for the year was the impact of taking impeccable care of myself is immeasurable. And I have my verse of the year. See, it's kind of gross because I've been using it a lot. I have my verse on the year, and most days I write all of this down in my planner each day. And this is kind of an aside, but because I love planning, I wanted to share it. So this is not like my planner, but this is like my idea book, um, things I want to remember book. And what I learned was to make a table of contents. So the first couple pages are for my table of contents, and let's see, I had a little to be done list. I listed that as page 0.5. So I went through, I left a couple pages blank. And then page number 1 was dreaming. This was on 12/16/23. I wrote page 1, and that was dreaming for the year. And then as I go through the book, I number up in the corner. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. I number up in the corners, and then I turn back when I write the number in and I know what I'm using the page for. I come back to the table of contents and I write what it is. And some of the things that I have in here are like I planned out my like a work schedule that I wanted to follow. That was early on. My 90-day goals I had a list of 90-day goal ideas so that if I was looking for ideas, I could go back there. And if I thought of things, I could add it onto that list. I have my quarter 1 90-day goals on page 13. I have January goals. I did some journaling. I have workshops and stuff, some workshops that I've watched and took notes on. I put them in here. What I do, I have a list. Oh, I should probably go back and look at this. On page 24, I have 2024 books. Oh, books read. So on page 24, I was keeping a list of the books that I have read. I need to go update that. Books read in 2024. And I have my list of books. I haven't updated it for quite a while. Um, what else do I have on here? Just to give you some ideas. I have lists of ideas of reels to make. Um, when I created the reset program in March and April, this is where I was writing down my ideas. I did my Eat Less Reels series, and I think I did, I don't know, like 15 or 20 of those, and I have my list of ideas for topics in here. So this is just a really great. I just love this idea of keeping, because you write notes in like all different areas, and then you're like, I don't know where I wrote that down. Like, this is the one stop notebook where everything goes in. And with that table of contents, it just makes it so easy to find what you are like, oh, I know I wrote that down. And right there, you have it cataloged, and it's great. So I will be making a new one of those soon because I'm doing my word of the year workshop on December 28th. And I'm actually teaming up with a coach friend of mine, Coach Demetria, and we're going to do it together. And I posted the link to that somewhere. If you're interested, sign up for that because it's just super duper fun. Okay. So Sunday the 8th, then Monday will be the 9th. I'm going back to my planning and writing this out literally, I'm just going to be doing that on here. Monday, Tuesday, the 10th, Wednesday, the 11th, Thursday, the 12th, Friday, the 13th, Saturday, the 14th, Sunday, the 15th, Monday, the 16th, Tuesday, the 17th, Wednesday, the 18th. And I want to get the whole rest of the year out here. Thursday, the 19th, Friday, the 20th, Saturday, 21, Sunday, 22, Monday, 23, Tuesday, 24, Wednesday, 25, Thursday, 26, Friday, 27, Saturday, 28. And I'm gonna go onto the third page. Where am I? Saturday, the 28th, Sunday, the 30th, and Monday, the 31st. Hopefully that all matches up with the calendar. So then the next step is to open up my Google Calendar, whatever calendar you use. If it's a physical calendar, open it up. If it's an online calendar, open that up and go day by day. And I'm especially thinking about things out of the ordinary. So I'm going to write down, the first thing I'm going to do is go through and write down when I know people are arriving. So Benjamin, my son, is coming home from the Navy on the wee hours of Saturday, the 14th. And he is here until the evening of the 26th. So Benjamin back to Virginia. And then my son and daughter-in-law and grandson, I'm going to call them the Washington Peas. They come on the night of Thursday the 19th, and they leave the evening of Christmas back to Washington, and they'll be flying. So I know from Saturday the 14th until Thursday the 26th, I'm going to have extra people in my house, and my kids are not extra, but more people than normal. And from the 20th until the 25th, my whole family is going to be together. So the 20th through the 25th, it's going to be a full house. So those are like the big logistical things that then I need to wrap my mind around. And we don't really have, like, I don't really have anything specific planned around the holidays yet. We haven't even had those conversations. But I know that on Christmas Eve, I want to do dinner and a game night, dinner and games. Christmas Day, we'll probably do a big breakfast thing. So just kind of go through, plan out if you have work parties, if your husband or I guess, yeah, if your husband or boyfriend, whatever, has work parties that you're going to go to, if you any friend parties, like put everything down. These are all of the things happening for the rest of this year. What, and like not your work schedule, not the normal stuff, but the things that are geared towards the holidays. And really, one of the things that this is super important to show you is we think that, oh, it's the holiday season, I can't even focus on losing weight. I can't be good during the holidays or whatever. And one thing that this helps you to do is to really see like how many days there are between now and January 1, how many days actually contain anything holiday related. And then within those days, like, is it an evening party? Is it a brunch? And so, like, typically an event has one meal attached to it. So if you're eating 3 meals a day and there are, I don't even know how many days, I can't do math, especially this 21 days ish. If there's 21 days, 20 days, whatever it is, um, however many days, if you eat 3 meals a day, how many meals are impacted by the upcoming holidays, Christmas, New Year's, Christmas Eve, maybe. And to really look at that and go, okay, like really, it's five meals. There are 5 meals that are included in anything that I have going on for the holidays. And so then you can kind of decide, okay, what do I want to do on during the meals that are not included in those events? And really, what does it come down to? Drink your water, eat for hunger, ask yourself, am I hungry before I eat anything? And pay attention while you're eating so that you don't overeat. Pretty simple. And so you don't have to just go unconscious for the rest of the year. You can, in fact, you can even lose weight if you want to. You can lose weight, or you can just decide I'm okay maintaining, or if I if the scale is up 5 pounds from right now on January 1st, I'm going to be okay with that. You can decide like what you're okay with, what you're going to be happy with on January 1, and then you can plan accordingly. So looking ahead, how many meals are actually impacted by the holidays? And most likely it's going to be less than you think. And even on those meals, and that's part of the protocol planning, like thinking through that specific event, typically we do the same, same things every year. You kind of know who's bringing what or where it's going to be, and you can decide ahead of time, like, I know I'm really going to want to enjoy that, whatever it is. And I'm going to stay away from bread bowls, or I'm going to stay away from um, endless tortilla chip bowls. Gasp. So you can kind of just thinking through ahead to be intentional for you. I feel like I made a note for myself about my protocol planning. So, list of the days and events. And like I said, I don't really have a lot planned, which I like. I don't like to have a full calendar personally. And some people do, which is great. Um, and then note who will be, note who will be here and when. So I kind of did that. My niece that lives with us left. She comes home on the 17th. Ella is back. My niece Haley comes on the 21st. They're not staying with me, but I think my sister is moving to Idaho, so she'll be coming. And then my nephew and his girlfriend come on the 23rd. Okay. So I just made note of who's coming when, who's gonna be around that we want to spend time with, and all of that good stuff. Um, the events. I sent out a text message to my kids last night and said, what are your food requests? What do you want me to have in the house? What meals would you like to have at home? And what restaurants do you definitely want to go visit? I didn't get much of a response, but I did get some. So I've made note of those things. I'm working on a grocery list so that I can do a big grocery shop before everybody gets here, which is this week. So I want to do a grocery shop on Friday. Actually, I'm going to do that in a different color, or let's be honest, a different shade of purple with a different pen. Grocery shopping. So I'm making note of where I want to get that done. Um, let's see. I want to come up with a cleaning schedule. So this week I actually had things on my list to do today, but I volunteered at church and that took up more time than I thought. So what do I want to get done today? And let's see, Wednesday, clean the rest. I want to get the beds all made and everything. So what do I want to get done before people start arriving, and when am I going to do that? So it's so helpful to make a list of the things that you want done and then figure out in your schedule where they make the most sense, where you're going to have the energy to do it, or you're going to have the self-discipline to do it, maybe. And so we're not putting everything off till the last minute and doing that frantic, all this stuff needs to get done and I haven't done it yet, and da 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 da, which guilty. Let's see. Another thing that I definitely want to do that I have not done yet is sit down with my husband. My husband is the one that does 99.9% of our Christmas shopping and wrapping and anything else related to Christmas. So I would like to sit down with him and like figure out what we've gotten who, and if there's, if we need to even that out any or whatever. Um, so I definitely want to do that. And then my most important purpose in doing this is my own eating protocols. So I I do intermittent fasting and I want to make sure that I am honoring that no matter what. And over Thanksgiving break, I was very lax and I don't want to be lax like that. Um, and also, I don't want to be completely rigid either, which is one of the great benefits of intermittent fasting is you really, by its nature, it's intermittent. It's not supposed to be the same thing over and over again. So if something pops up, you can make quick adjustments and it works with it. My typical um, eating window is 12 p.m. to 6 p.m., fasting from 6 p.m. until 12 o'clock the next day. I like to do 2 longer fasts each week. So from Sunday evening dinner until Monday evening dinner, or sometimes even Tuesday at lunch. That's one of my fasts that I do every week. So I know that on Sunday this week, I'm doing a 24-hour, maybe I might go to 36. And then Monday, I eat dinner. Tuesday, I eat lunch and dinner. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and like, what's kind of like my outline of what I'm going to be, when I'm going to be fasting and when I'm not going to be fasting. I don't fast on Saturdays. Saturdays are open. And I'll probably have one more open day a week for the rest of this year. And that's just going to be okay. And it will be flexible. So I like to kind of like, these are the days that I'm planning to fast. And then if something comes up, I can decide intentionally I can decide to make changes as things come up. And also I want to continue to honor my fasting. So I'll make trades. I'll do trades. Um, and I'm not going to do this perfectly. I'm not going to write this down perfectly and stick to it. It's going to change. And when I make a decision, one of the things that I want to always do and remind myself to do and to remind you to do, once you make a decision, that's it. There's no, on the other side of the decision, there's no regret. There's no shaming myself. There's no second guessing, like, oh, I should have, whatever. Nope. I made this decision. I made it with the information that I had at the time, and it was the best decision for me at the time, regardless of what happens after that. So make the decision and then have your own back. That's what I like to say. And that's kind of what I do. I'll go through and list out kind of my idea of what my eating windows are going to look like. And then the other thing is what what I want to eat and what I don't want to be eating. I really, really want to limit processed foods. I want to limit added sugar. That's really it. I want to limit processed foods and added sugar. And I want to bulk up. I want to be um, proactively and intentionally planning protein forward meals. I want to be getting protein in. I want to be getting fiber in. And I want to be getting good fats in. And so as I'm planning meals, I want to be thinking about that. I want to be having more salads. I have not been eating hardly any salads, and I want to increase that, and definitely plan to at the beginning of the year when I do the fresh start. That is going to be so good. I'm so excited. I'm working on planning it out for myself, and then you're invited to come along. And if you sign up for that by December 31st, it's $97 for 30 days, all in. It's going to be fantastic. I will help you pick your protocol, figure out what you want to be following for that 30 days, and it's going to be good. So that's pretty much what I do. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? I'm going to write out my protocols. I'm picking, movement, what movement I want to be doing, how often. Oh, I have a couple things I still wanted to cover. Um, like my intention is to move my body for 30 minutes a day. And I also am working on increasing strength training. I want to be doing strength training 3 times a week. I clearly have not wanted to do that enough because I have not been doing it consistently, but I am, that is on my mind, and I want to plan for that, doing some strength training. Setting your intentions. Again, like I said, do you want to lose weight between now and January 1? Are you okay just maintaining your weight? Or are you okay even gaining a little bit? Just knowing that, make the decision now and then plan accordingly. Your movement, how do you want to be moving? How often? How long? What kind? Those are all things to think through. And if you have concerns about that, go watch my reel, or no, it was an Instagram live that I did. Let's see. It was really good. I'm not gonna lie. Ooh, I don't know. It was a week or so ago. I talked about um resetting your mindset around exercise. It was super good. Expectations. Okay, this is the good stuff. We are likely going to be around more people that we see less often during the holidays. And in general, it's people that you care about and love, and you want to enjoy this time together. And so sometimes we can build it up like, oh, I want it to be magical. I want it to be just perfect. And I think a lot of women have this like la la dream expectation of perfection, gingerbread houses and fairy tale land or something. I don't know. I don't have that. But be realistic about your expectations, thinking through who am I going to be with? What what do I want to get out of this time? How do I want to interact with these people? When I come home, when they go home, how do I want to feel about this time that we spent together? What matters most? And I think that if we're focusing on things need to be perfect, everybody needs to have a good time and da 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 da, we miss out on so much. And I keep going back to relationship over everything. And we can get caught up in the little squabbles and irritations, or we can focus on what do I want my relationship with this person to be like? And that for me, and like, I'm not perfect. I don't always get it right. I screw up a lot. But in my mind and in my heart of hearts, that is what I want. So thinking through ahead of time, even before you go into a situation, thinking through who all's going to be there, who who's the person that says the annoying things, the things that set you off, the things that hurt your feelings, like think through that ahead of time and decide how you want to respond. Do you want to give yourself an out to be like, okay, if this happens, I can just go home? Or if that's not something that you want to do because there are people that you want to spend time with, how are you going to navigate that? What are you going to remind yourself of? Like, people are allowed to be wrong. People are allowed to be ridiculous. How how much am I going to allow them to impact me? That's like, be prepared, know that it's coming, and like have a bingo card. Like, oh, yep, saw that one coming. Um, so just having realistic expectations going into things and focusing on what matters most. And like I said, for me, I I want my relationships with my kids, like number one. Well, I mean, my husband, but he's here all the time. We're good. But like, I want good, strong relationships with my kids. I want good, strong relationships with my family members. And so I want to preserve those, not at the cost of my own, not so much that I'm willing to like not be me, but I know that in my situation, that's not a thing. So, like, it's not about compromising any of your own like beliefs or like politics. That could be such a hot topic, right? How much of that do you want impacting your relationship? I don't know, just thinking through it, your expectations. And then I also think, like, how do I want to behave no matter what? Like, how do I want to talk? How do I want to respond to people? What do I want to be doing, no matter what anybody else is doing, saying, not doing, not saying? And then what feeling do I need to be experiencing to behave that way, to respond that way? And then what do I need to be thinking in order to feel that way. And this is all proactively ahead of time before you ever walk through that door, before they ever walk through your door. It's preparing your own heart and mind. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Because really our relationships with other people and our experiences of other people are it's the way that we think about it. And how do you want to be thinking about it? And that is ultimately going to drive how you behave. Um, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, and that's a lot. It's a lot to go through, but really basically write out the days for the rest of the year, fill in the activities that you already have planned. Looking, I thought I lost that area. The activities that you already have planned, the events, parties, whatever. Who are you going to be around? What are your expectations of that time? What's your eating protocol? What are your minimum baselines for your eating protocols? What are you going to allow yourself to eat? What do you want to eat intentionally? How do you want to get your movement in over these next few weeks? I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions, you can email me, message me on the socials. I love working through all of this stuff personally. It's very fun for me. And remember that we have the Word of the Year workshop coming up on December 28th. So put that on your calendar. And it is at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, 8 a.m. Pacific, 9 Mountain, 10 Central, 11 Eastern. And then starting January 5th, I have the fresh start for 2025, 30 days all in on your health, weight loss. It's going to be good and it's going to be all in. I'm so excited about it. So go sign up for that. It's $97 before January 1st. After that, it's $147. And I'm super excited about it. Thank you. Thank you. And I hope that you have an amazing Christmas. And remember, Jesus is the reason for the season. So celebrate him. Bye.